Good evening and welcome to Dumfries Ice Bowl for the quarter-finals of the Champions Curling Tour CCT event for 2015. Game we're going to be covering tonight is Kyle Smith against Tom Brewster on sheet A. You can see the other games just on your screen there. We're just about to start the first end, so we'll go through the games later on. But first of all, just to introduce Kenny Murray doing the commentary with me tonight.
Good evening everyone, welcome to Dumfries again for the quarter-final, as David said, between Kyle Smith and Tom Brewster. Looking forward to a very keen game here. Should be a close game and against two of Scotland's top teams at the moment. So as David said, we're just about ready to go. Yep,
8 end games. There is one extra end, but there won't be any more than that. I think the rule is, we'll need to check that, we're always very unprepared for this, but I think the rule is if you don't score in the extra end and you have hammer, you lose the game.
I think that was the rule earlier on anyway, so
you can see just at the corner of your screen there, going behind the scoreboard, the first stone is underway and indeed has been played. And you see the boys working it into the free guard zone, just about getting it over the line there.
Tom Brewster does have the hammer at the first end. So a long guard there by Cammy Smith.
Yep, Tom Brewster winning section 4. Some exceptionally tough opposition in that group. This will probably come on to at some stage in the commentary as well. Kyle Smith being beaten into second place by Grant Hardy, I think it was, Kenny?
That's correct, yes. They had a really good game last night and Grant just edged it 6-5 in the last end.
Yeah, I hear it was expertly webcast, but somebody forgot to press a button, so nobody heard it, unfortunately.
Yes, John Graham and I spoke to each other for 2 hours and we weren't going out live.
It's good practice for tonight, though, so everybody can expect an exceptional commentary tonight.
Yes. So, first stone there from Hamilton Macmillan, down behind the guard, just sitting in front of T-line.
Quite interesting, just before this game started, we'd have a quick Shugle round of the draw. Tom Brewster originally drawn to play yellow stones, but because he finished top of the group, Has Hammer took the option to change the stones.
Yes.
We're not sure why, but it is his prerogative to do that, so he took that option up. So hopefully quite a good looking start in terms of attacking intent.
Yes, we're getting plenty of stones, or the first 3 stones are all in play. So I think Tom's asking his lead player, Hamilton Macmillan, to come around on the other side now.
Looks a little short with this one.
So Hamilton there just a few feet short. Force Kyle back onto the hand he's just played previously. Asking his second player, Kyle Waddle. That's getting cool in.
Getting a cold chill in here. They've got those that have been in Dumfries Ice Bowl before will know it's exceptionally warm upstairs, but we're sitting right at the far end of the bar next to the fire escape, which has been very handily opened, which was quite nice for a couple of minutes grace, but yeah, it's getting a bit chilly now.
So that stone from Kyle Waddle's just slipping through the back. That's just hanging on at the back of the 12 foot.
I see both teams absolutely going for this from the first end.
So hopefully a good sign, David, that we're going to get plenty of stones in play and good viewing for our viewers out there this evening.
Yeah, hopefully. I've not, despite being here pretty much since the first stone of the first day, I haven't actually sat down and watched the game yet, so I was quite looking forward to watching a game this afternoon, or this evening. This is through the hole.
Ross Patterson coming through the hole just to...
It's a pretty nice result. Yellow passes the back stones
yes.
now.
As David said, Tom does have the hammer, so it's Kyle asking now to take guards off. No, just follow guarding it up.
I think he's calling the guard, yeah.
Kyle Smith asking Kyle Lloydell just for a centre line guard. Just seems to be hanging a wee bit wide.
I've just checked on my phone, Kenny. You'll be pleased to know we're actually going live tonight.
Thank you, David.
We are at the moment, anyway. This gives Tom Brewster a wee chance to create something here.
I think he's just asking Ross Patterson to come through the gap and just nudge the blue stone up and nudge the yellow to the back of the 12 foot. He asked for hack weight anyway. It's nicely played. Kyle calling the run back here, David.
I think he did, Kenny. I just I glanced away at the wrong second there, to be totally honest, but I think he did call that. Whether it's off centre. I mean, obviously he's not got last stone here, so he won't want to lose all the guards, presumably.
To be well played.
He's played it.
Good shot there from Tommy's Muirhead.
And even better news is, Kenny, the reason I missed it.
All the technical things going on in here at the Freesize Bowl this evening.
See that straight back. Spin the blues away. Back to the live picture.
Just a wee hit and roll here, I think Tom asked for.
Presumably looking for the roll there, and didn't quite get that.
So Kyle asking his third player, Thomas Muirhead, just for a wee hit and roll here.
Again, maybe just a wee bit straight there. Both teams getting that line.
Tom might ask his third player, Glenn Muirhead, here for a draw.
So how's this end going, Kenny?
Well, Tom Brewster's got the hammer and he's in quite a strong position at the moment. And he's laying a couple of shots. Actually some very good curling at the very first end here. John Graham has now joined us.
Yeah, just in case anybody thought we were playing with effects or my voice had gone a bit deeper all of a sudden.
There's been a lot of good shots played at the first end, and we're now down to skip stones.
Yeah, Brewster line 2 and with last stone at the moment.
So what's he looking, drawn to the back 8, is he?
Well, I think he'll be obviously drawing to try and lay short. John, I think, can get as far in as possible, try and make it as hard as possible for Tom to get him out and pick up a big end. There's a draw right to the back blue, I would have thought, David.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be wanting to come that far back. My guess would be looking maybe top 4, sitting even out at a slight angle, so that any attempt to move it is going back onto that back blue. I'm going to try something and demonstrate what I mean, but if this goes horribly wrong, it'll look a bit weird. I think it's fair to say that's a little bit big, but that's what we're looking for.
Somewhere in about there.
Somewhere in about there, which to be fair gives us a fair bit of...
this looks heavy.
This looks...
It is heavy, that's all the way back. Big chance for Brewster to get a good size first end here now.
I think he'll try and, as you said, David, try and swing one in, sit on top of the 4 foot. Maybe even just inside the 8 foot. But Kyle Smith will possibly have a draw in the other hand. There is plenty of room to get in coming down on the other hand.
There is, to be fair, Kenny, yep, there is. Yeah, you would be talking about something like that, Kenny?
Yeah.
It's working properly now. We're all good.
So, this is Tom Brewster's first stone at the first end.
Better weight.
It's done enough. So did you go for the draw, Kenny, or can he even hit the one that Tom's just played?
It probably could be struggling even just to hit that one. I think it's got...
It'd certainly be down weight.
And he's not going to be shot, and he probably would roll out and just lay third shot. So I think this is his best bet, come up the other handle. But there hasn't been many stones up this side of the ice. It's mainly been down the one side at the first end, so...
Has. Yeah, and these teams playing on sheet A, of course. Not because we don't think they're the main attraction here, just due to the fact that they've already played on various sheets throughout the weekend. So I think this was the only sheet that neither of them had played on, so hence why that game's there. But it is next to the door, so you do occasionally get a little bit of a speed difference down the right hand side as we look at it.
And having put his first stone through the back, Kyle Smith will be a wee bit worried that he hasn't maybe just got his draw weight. So this is a big stone at the first end.
Just taking his time in the hack, it would appear.
You can see them just sitting in the hack on the faraway sheet there. And nope, they're out the hack. Kyle's coming back down to have another look. Leaves the front end standing. Just while we're discussing Kenny, the shot, Kenny, do you want to have a quick run through of the, maybe start with the ladies' quarterfinals, the two quarterfinals?
Yes, on rank C we've got Gray against Lely, and on sheet A, Fleming plays Milliard. So we'll keep you updated on these two games.
Of course, we've got, sorry, just to jump in, we've got two quarter-finals because there was 3 groups, so we've already got 2 teams through to the semi-final, and the quarter-finals are obviously to play them. And the other men's quarter-finals, I'm going to go from memory, but it's Bruce Mout against Van Dorp, the Dutch team. We have Scott Hamilton against Cameron Bryce.
Yes, and where I'm sitting here, I can see that Cameron Bryce has picked up a win at the first end against Scott Hamilton.
And that'll be with Hammer, so Scott's forced that one. And Grant Hardy is playing
the team that beat you this afternoon, David.
Team Thun, yeah, I was just trying to raise that from my mind, yep. Yep, no scores in the other games as it stands.
So I think we went back to the original choice, just a draw round on the other hand. Sweepers are kind of on and off.
It's a really good effort.
Good stone there by Kyle Smith.
I think he'll be pretty happy with that.
So will Brewster come on the left hand side as a look at?
I think that's what he's looking at. He possibly could get a 3 hitting blue to yellow. Obviously, he could just follow Kyle Smith's stone down and pick up a 1, but I think Tom's looking here to angle his blue across to the yellow and try and get a 3.
Yeah, I think it's a safe. Sorry, John. It's a fairly safe chance to have a go at a 3, and the risk is just losing a 1. So I imagine he won't be happy losing a 1 this end.
No, but it was an excellent last stone there by Kyle Smith, especially after putting his first stone through the house, David.
Yeah, absolutely. It was close. He's nailed it, but it's spun out, so it's just a 2.
But
get a wee.
to Tom Brewster at the first end.
Scores as it stands. John's just away to go and get us the up-to-date line scores. We must be getting to the important stages of this, Kenny. We've got a runner.
Yes, John's did already done 2 or 3 games this afternoon. Doing a bit of commentating this afternoon in the games that were the last games in the sections.
So what we're saying is he's done all the hard work and then he's been punted for the quarterfinals.
We were resting for the quarterfinals, David.
We were resting, that was the one.
So, for Stone there from Hamilton Macmillan, just a throw into the 12 foot.
Interesting. So again, it's incredible. I think 2 or 3 years ago we would have seen that instantly hit off.
Straight away, Kyle Smith calls the corner guard. Good shot there from Cammy Smith, corner guard. Tom Brewster working that Stone hard, trying to see if he can get out through the back, but it's just hanging on at the back of the 12 foot.
Richard Smith, who's commentating this afternoon, I think calls him a flob, does he not?
Not exactly sure.
Something to do with a lucky outside biter. Probably here in the background, quite, I would say a wee bit of background noise. It was good, healthy noise.
I think if I can remember from last year, David, it was a lot noisier.
It was, yeah. I think some truth to the rumour that some teams that are playing on the ice maybe contributed to that. They're not upstairs this year, they're actually playing. We'll name no names.
You might be meeting one of the teams playing in Rink B.
Could well be, could well be. Doesn't quite take the back one. Probably doesn't move the shooter as far as he would like.
And I think he was looking to try and get the shooter across onto the centre line to kind of give him a wee bit of front cover.
As I say, a good bit of background noise, so if you are sitting in Dumfries watching this, I would say the night's pretty young in here yet, so get yourself down here.
It could get a wee bit noisier come the end of the game, I would think.
Well, the bar is open, to be fair, so
I think most of the ones that
are off.
Most of the ones that are actually drinking probably are at the far away end, so it's handy for them.
It's closer to the bar, isn't it? So
yes, that's true.
I believe there's also two, I'm not making this up, there is two magicians floating about.
and there's no truth to the rumour. One of them's Graham Sloan.
If he was the magician, I might not be sat here right now. We'd be playing. John Graham back with the score, so we'll give you an update on them at the end of the end.
I lost that, but I don't know what the score is. Oh, I think it was. Certainly, I lost score in the second one. I think it was the blank. Who had the... Oh, well, it could have been one.
So
Have you seen the magician, John? You've been roaming about?
Unbelievable what he could do. Unbelievable.
Does that mean you've got no money left in your wallet? Is that?
I wouldn't have liked to play him at cards anyway. Whether he was playing it with this rope and that, and there was a lady there, and she was mesmerised by him. Couldn't believe what he was doing. And then he showed us some card games and stuff with coins, and he said he was sleight of hand. Can I say to you? He could make a fiver or a tenner disappear like that, I think.
So I'm going nowhere near him.
No, really good, and going down a well with everybody that's there.
it's probably most of the foreign teams probably haven't seen anything like that before, John.
Possibly not. I mean, I haven't actually seen a magician like that other than what you see on the telly, so aye.
So he's
Rolls out.
So at the moment we've nothing in the house at all.
Put the picture back up. And you can see the bar. Far end is the bar for those that don't know Dumfries Ice Ball, hence it gets busier. Yeah, a good crowd in watching.
I think there's actually quite a few actually watching out actually in the rink as well. Over at the far side watching the game that we're featuring this evening.
Yeah, there's probably about 20 people down there, which is pretty brave of them, really.
I suppose when away out in Rinky you actually can't really see a lot from the upstairs. It's
No,
halfway
that's
along the
true.
corridor.
Good atmosphere when you're out there, mind. You just get that. The sounds are just round about you.
It's certainly loud enough, isn't it?
That's why it's the roaring game.
So Brewster looking at a run back here, is he, Kenny?
I think so. I think that's the shout.
Slightly high, but rolls the guard away.
It's strange how you get so many different ways of playing the game. Some of the other teams in that prefer to have lots of guards out the front, then others prefer the stones in the house, and well, you know, they preach tactics. It's quite clear that lots of the skips have got their own way of doing things or how they see it.
Yeah, each to their own, isn't it? It's noticeable in the few games we played this weekend that every team's very, very different. We were probably the most different of any of them, to be fair.
You had three very good games, David, and if I can remember right, last night you were 4-0 up on Tom Brewster after two ends.
Yes, I don't really know what Kyle Smith's playing at here. Yeah, I think, to be fair to Tom's team, they they're a wee bit slow to start. I believe they'd had a 5.5 hour journey down from Aberdeen, and local knowledge of handles probably helped us. I think Graham said he'd mentioned to him, and it's meant in the nicest possible way, that he just couldn't fall over stones.
I did hear that being mentioned.
Which is part of our tactics, to be fair, but when we don't know what they're going to do, it's a bit of a tall order to expect them to get a nice read off them.
So Thomas Muirhead's second stone at the second end just slipped through the back of the house, so Tom Brewster has an opportunity now to hit that yellow and roll across behind his own blue guard.
That could be an expensive mistake for Smith's team, really.
Yes, if he had draw there, John, you're right. He had an opportunity possibly to get his twos back right at the second end. But quite unique here. I think we've got two sets of brothers playing.
We do.
Kyle and Cammy Smith, and in opposition, Glenn and Thomas Muirhead. So Tom just hits that one on the nose. Live shot. Kyle might have to just watch what he's doing here, because if he tries to get the hide behind the blue guard, he might just put that blue onto his own black blue at the back that might just sit in the house.
Yeah, I think he seemed to say he'd be happy on the nose of this one.
Tom seemed to indicate there that he was just wanting maybe just slide across a wee bit just to make sure he is shot.
Yeah, I want to be fully in the rings, won't he?
See if he can force Kyle to take one.
Well, as even if he goes behind the guard now, they're so close together.
I think we're going to see our first blank end in this quarter-final tie. So, Kyle Smith's last stone at the second end, and out it goes, and we move on to the third end, a blank end here in the second, and Tom Brewster remains 2-0 in front after two ends.
So there's the other scores. Slightly non-convinced about sheet F at the bottom there, but we'll get that checked. Just in between the break there, you see the logo. This whole competition very kindly sponsored by Lely Longtown. For those that don't know, they're, as it says there, innovators in agriculture. So a lot of machinery, and particularly robotic milking machines, which even if you haven't the faintest idea of what that is, or you'll never ever buy one, it's worth going to have a look at the videos on their websites. It's quite interesting. We're just going to cut back to the game. I'll leave the scores on there because I'm just about to update a fairly surprising scoreline, I would say, after 2 ends. And I hope we've got this one right, John, otherwise we're in big trouble. Milliard taking a 1 against Hannah Fleming in the first line, stealing a 5. There we go, that's a long way back in that game. He's just put the microphone down.
John's panicking here.
He's waiting to find out how it happened, right? Fair enough. You're confident then.
Early stages here in the third end. Kyle puts on a corner guard, and Tom just asked his lead, Hamilton Macmillan. Just for a draw at the front of the house.
I don't think I'll be overly happy with that first stone in the back of the 8 foot. This one looks to be heading the same way, is it? It's not too bad. No, top 12, top 4 even. How aggressive are we going to be? Fairly. We don't always do that. You see John just disappearing. I was too slow there, Kenny. John just disappearing out of shot. Well, John.
The score line is accurate. Apparently the opposition were laying quite a lot of shots, and Hannah went to draw the centre and slipped through and gave them that 5. So just last shot was there, but a wee bit too fast for her.
It gives her a wee bit of an uphill struggle there.
Do you know where that opposition team comes from, David, or not, for the Fleming game?
We're all looking blankly at each other now.
I'm definitely have no idea.
That'll be a no. Some of the game, we should probably look at these things beforehand.
Of course, we've got different team names from the players' names because some of them have got sponsors' names for their teams. So.
No, coming up in total blank there, I'm afraid, John. We'll not guess.
Okay, well, try and find out.
Destroy my credibility here, if we had any.
Well, earlier today I never said anything, and I'm trying to find out what this team was, and I thought it was a team from Sweden, from Switzerland, but it turned out it was a team from Sweden, so I was glad it never said anything. It certainly is an international competition this year. A lot of foreign teams here, and I've spoken to some of them, and they've certainly all enjoyed it, and if they can, they'll be coming back again next year. So.
And we've even got a Canadian ladies team here this year, John.
Yes, it was a university team from somewhere outside Toronto, and they had the opportunity of going out with their area for a competition, and it was actually as cheap to come to Scotland and play as it was to travel inside Canada. They were really nice players, and they've thoroughly enjoyed their trip. So
very good to have them. Very good. Always looking. It's the biggest competition we've held in terms of numbers for this event. Certainly bigger than last year's and the year before. Always room for more though.
yes, and thank you, David, for your company sponsorship, along with Lely and also the regional council. Without that, we would not be able to run the event.
You've been very good. I haven't plugged myself yet, John.
Pardon?
I haven't actually plugged myself yet, but thank you.
Ah, well, I thought that I would do it. I knew you wouldn't.
Down to the third stones here at the third end. Tom Brewster line one shot, but Kyle Smith to play.
An opportunity here for Smith to get his two, do you think, Kenny?
He's actually putting on another corner guard.
Yeah, really hard to get that blue and hit the blue out and then get separated without leaving a double. So put the corner guard. They know there's a fair chance that Brewster's going to take it off again. It limits the number of stones that you have to keep separated. Every shot's good if you play it 100% though, isn't it? I'll give you a bit of preparation for this, John, but I think we should just go through some of the volunteers that are helping this weekend, maybe at the change of ends. If you can get your thinking cap on and name them all.
No, I don't think I'd do that. I'd miss somebody out and would offend somebody then.
Fair comment.
Problem is we've got a lot of people that's been working in the bar. I got the double.
Good shot there from Glenn Muirhead.
It was, wasn't it?
But it's left a corner guard for Kyle to come round.
Of course, that was presumably in Kyle's thoughts in playing the guard. Any kind of straight run back to lift both of them out was always going to leave the guard, so. So what would you be doing here, Kenny?
The run back again.
The thing is, he's lying one shot already. But now I won't want to give away two.
suppose he's also got to watch here. He just has to get this a wee bit on the high side and come through and take his own blue stone out and leave.
I don't think they even think about it.
No, they'll not think about it, but it's always
Still
a possibility.
Yeah, I think for us mere mortals, this would be a terrifying shot to be playing.
Sometimes the way the camera is, it just, you think it's maybe not just a square on as what it is. Yeah, change it.
No.
Chuck the brush up, changing brushes or something.
There's more brushes down there than they know what to do with now.
I think they've all been.
Well, they could leave some for our juniors.
And he is high, but he's high enough to avoid the back one.
I think you'll see Kyle Smith making a play now on that blue stone.
Yeah, I think they called the freeze, didn't they? And just a hit and stick. Hit and stick by the ice.
Kyle Smith's first stone here at the third end. Just a straight tap back, I think, to lie 2 shots. Seems to be sitting a wee bit on the wide side. So a mistake there from Kyle Smith. Gives Tom Brewster a chance to hit this yellow stone out and lie shot. Either force Kyle to take a 1 or probably blank the end.
Yeah, I think we'll know where this one's going now. Money would be on.
As
2-0 after 3.
stones come flying over from rink B. No guessing David, who's just played a stone in rink B, probably sent the stones flying over onto rink A.
Mr. Black make the shot though.
Yes, he has made a. I can just see he is line 1 shot in there.
Got to play well tonight. I see Jim Black's in the bar, his dad, so under pressure.
So Kyle Smith's last stone here at the third end. Heading for another blank end. Oh, just about over curled there. So
Yes, you were saying about volunteers. We've had people in that's been hoovering, cleaning up tables. We've had bar staff in. We've had people doing driving from the airports. And there's other people who have been hosting some of the teams. Then we've got people that's doing the scoreboards. One of the juniors was in on Friday, I think it was, and they were updating the scores on the computers. Then we've got the umpires. And really, I suppose the organiser, Graham Sloan, has had a relatively easy time, you could maybe say.
I think he's had a fairly easy time, apart from the playing, the running the competition, and he's chucked in ice duties as well this year.
That's right, aye.
He obviously got bored last year.
I think that he's looking to take over from Scott Henderson, who's been down doing the ice. He's got eye in the ice or something like that.
Eye in the ice, John. Yep, he has.
Which has learnt us lots of different things about the humidity and ice temperatures, etc., that we didn't know before. So, and then we've got folk that's here that's helping in here. So, a small army, and we've still got to get them all away as well.
I think the only one I would want to name, John, is Jim Hogg, doing the chief umpiring. He's been here pretty much every session so far.
I think Jim's been here every single minute the competition's been running, and even after the last games are finished, he's still here getting the schedule ready for the following day.
Yeah, so he's doing a kind of 7:30 till midnight shift, which is a fair day. And he'll be here first tomorrow. Obviously, we're not covering every game live as it goes, but the online scores are being done, I think. So if you're looking for a particular score, if you head to the DIBCA website, which is dibca.co.uk, dibca.co.uk, click on the Lely CCT link, pick your men's or ladies events, and the current matches will show up there. John's left us again, Kenny.
Yes, he's not away with his score sheet this time, so I don't know where he's away this time.
He normally comes back with a good story or two, so.
Tom asking his second player, Ross Patterson, just to maybe get to the quarters of this stone and knock it past the edge of his own blues and roll across into the edge of the 8 foot. Just didn't quite get it curl enough, but he did get rid of the yellow. Lies 2 shots. Kyle indicating now that he would like a freeze on top of the 2 blues, but has possibly just changed his mind. I think he's trying to come behind the corner guard now.
Difficult to see from all angles. We're standing in front of the stones before, we can see them now.
Tommy's Muirhead's first stone at the 4th end, a freezing top of the 2 blues, sitting just behind the tee line, and is near enough perfect. Oh, that just went slightly wrong there. A yellow stone sandwiched in between the two blue stones.
Is that Mr. Murdoch putting in an appearance on the right hand side there? Just to give another sponsor of the Ice Bowl a wee bit of coverage to the Fox Glide banner.
I think
David, my eyes tested.
No, I think it is David Murdoch. I understand he's out in Japan at the moment. Is that correct, David? Did you hear that today?
Yeah, I think so. I did hear that. Of course, he played here last year. It'd be good to have him back. Looking at his swing on in behind the corner guard. That looks short.
You're going to have to work it hard just to bite the...
Tom Brewster just saying to Glenn Muirhead that stone's not in.
Might just play a wee play on this, David, just to break the back blue away from the yellow.
Yeah, I'll need a wee bit of separation to get it out of there.
As Tom's indicating, I don't think it's going to be just a wee battering weight. I think it's straight weight.
Yep, controlled weight hit.
Shot there from Glenn Muirhead. Pretty good effort, but I think it's left the double back the way. I was just waiting to see where Tom was going there, David, but I think he's looking at the double.
Yeah, he is. Straight to it.
Glenn Muirhead going here for the double takeout. Sweepers are on. It looks close.
A reaction and the spin of that back up the house. Looking good to get a score this end though.
Yes, I think there's...
Looking to try and take a double and then roll across to the winger.
Could he take all three here, David?
I'm not sure he can. I think it's close, but I have a notion that first stone will go too far to the left of the back blue. It's difficult to tell, as John said before, the camera angles make it Yeah, it just doesn't look on from that angle, does it?
No, I think it's just a straight double takeout. I'll put a call here for Thomas Muirhead.
We may well find out in a second if it was on. It looks too thin. It may well have been on there, John, actually.
So what does Tom do now here, David?
I think it depends whether he's thinking of trying to force the one or if he just wants to go for the steal, but I suspect he'll just be looking to force the one here. So remove the yellow, roll to the right. Even a nose hit's not too bad. The main thing will be to leave 2 or 3 blues lying about after his next stone.
Nice hit in the nose there from Tom Brewster.
Only chance for 2 now is to freeze that one. A few options for freeze, to be fair, as they point out, either on the nose or even just on the shoulder of the blue. So it leaves the angle for the double back onto the... If Brewster does remove it, it leaves the angle back into the 8-foot one.
You see what the call was here, David?
I think they're looking at the freeze, Kenny. I think that's what they were discussing. They were looking at a hit and roll onto it. It's maybe a safer option. They do have last stone and it is pretty open.
There's no front guards, so
I suspect they're going with the freeze. We've got a good idea with the speed they come out the hack, then I would say that's a draw.
seems to be sitting a wee shade wide. It's maybe coming in now. Must be just about near perfect, I would think.
Yeah, I think Tom can just blast that out of there. Could well lie 3 afterwards. This looks pretty good. I don't think it was quite what he was after, but it'll do the job.
Yes, it's definitely forcing Kyle Smith to take the one here at the fourth end.
Yep, same again. fully in the forefoot with a wee bit of backing.
I don't think I'll be sitting in the hack, David, thinking about the backing. I'll just be trying to draw the right onto the button.
Yep, I'd agree with that. I expect him to make that. See the two boys there just keeping it clean. I think it's okay.
Good draw there by Kyle Smith, and he gets his 1 at the 4th end, and it makes Tom Brewster leading 2-1 after 4 ends.
Sorry about the noise, a wee bit of a clatter of everything there. Good news is there was no juice involved.
Well, I've been away helping Graham sort out the transport. And,
We'll come back to the transport, John. I think we've got our first result, Kenny. I'll let you sit down first.
Our first result in the ladies. Lauren Gray has beat Ryla by 7 shots to 1 after 4 ends. Shaking hands game after 4th end. So, elsewhere, Grandot is 4-3 down to Bruce Mount after 4 ends. Milliard is 7-1 up on Hannah Fleming after 4 ends. And Grant Hardy is 3-1 up on Doon after 4 ends.
There you go, we'll just put them scores down the side. How's that for service?
I don't know if Kenny and I could have coped with all this technology if it'd been earlier on in the day. What do you think, Kenny?
Definitely not. We're getting everything doing all the updates, etc., and doing his replays, etc.
It's just a gadget.
You know what you're doing.
Vaguely.
So what have I missed?
Kyle Smith was forced to take a 1 at the 4th end, John, to draw against 3.
It was Brewster had hammer in the first end. This is the first end since he's had hammer. He scored, and then there was a couple of blank ends, and Smith was forced to take the 1. So yeah, Brewster will be looking to take control of the game in this end, I suspect. I think we could see all out attack. Might have been tempted to blank this one and score in the 6th, but I'd still be looking at that, to be fair, looking at taking the guard off. The one thing I have to say about playing this weekend, it's now making me more nervous about commentating and saying the wrong thing.
We've been caught out a few times.
We normally put the health warning in, we're just saying it as we see it. We're not necessarily saying it's right, but I'm not sure. I think he might just be looking for the peel, Kenny. Yellows are still doing a job on the Blues, so. A wee bit thin, but made it. We actually had one against, we were playing this afternoon against Team Thun, and yeah, they went for a appeal to blank the end, and I'm still not quite sure how our stone moved, because we're pretty sure it missed it. It must have been the wind between it that moved it, because it was travelling at some rate of knots. No noise though.
I just couldn't understand his hand signals there as to what he was actually going to be asking for.
Looks pretty good. Yeah, great shot. Great sweeping as well. Swept that pretty much all the way. See the boys sweeping that one right in. Makes a nice contact, moves the back blue a wee touch as well. It'll still be line 2 Blues at the moment, but that yellow's pretty handy in front of it. So, yeah, as you say, Kenny, Tom will be looking to shift that front guards now. Demonstration there, back 4 weight, tap it back to there. Kyle Smith's team, of course, Scotland's European representatives this season. Yep.
Beating the playoff semi-finals by the convention winner, Sweden. Off to a bad start in the week, but after round about the Tuesday, I don't think they lost another game to the playoff games. Good, because I think that was the first competition in the men's section of the European Championships. Did well winning the Scottish qualifying at Perth.
Yep, they did beat Tom Brewster in the final of that, actually. If I remember, I think that was when our Scottish curling tour was on.
yes.
It's all about confidence, the way you say it, Kenny, so let's just say yes. No, they did well out in Denmark. Obviously qualifying Scotland for the World has been the first objective for Olympic points thereafter, so main job done.
In the last game, Finland got beaten. Scotland were actually in the semi-finals. Finland won and Scotland fell to the bottom. And
yeah, it was one of these ridiculous 7-way playoffs that was decided by head-to-head and draw sort challenges, and a bit like section 2 in the ladies here in Dumfries. It was a bit of a... Yeah, I think it was. Somebody was through by a centimetre. I think it was the Swedish team, really, was through by literally, what was it, 1.1 centimetres, I think, in the end. So.
I'm not going to dispute that. I think it was 0.2 possibly, but for a millimetre, I don't think that.
Yeah, it'd be nice for teams not to go out on that, but we also have to work within the confines of the facility and make sure we get everybody on and off the ice at a reasonable time and get games finished and everything else. So they were the rules set out before the competition started. So. And to be fair, no complaints from anybody. So.
Biggest problem one player had before the quarter-final started was sorting out who was having what stones and who was in what rink.
Giving hammers away and stone colours, and it's getting way too technical for me, this, Kenny.
One thing for certain tomorrow, the finals on either C or D.
Yeah, it's getting complicated. They'll be telling us what brushes we can and can't use next. Oh wait. Pretty good job. I think it just hung a wee bit high, maybe, which meant they couldn't get on that maybe as quick as they would like. A nice result though, I'd be happy.
Scott Hamilton's picked up a 1 at the fourth end, and Cameron Bryce leads by 3 shots to 2 after 4 ends. So a bit of debate going on here at the fifth end in the Kyle Smith rink. Actually, quite an important end this for Kyle Smith. He doesn't have the hammer. Tom Brewster line a couple of shots in there at the moment. decide it now what we're going to do.
What they're looking at, Kenny, here?
I think I'll pass on that one, David. Not just quite sure. He's perhaps looking at moving his yellow sitting at the front of the 12 foot. Or is he looking to hit the blue on the nose and try and get some of the blues at the back?
Yeah, I think he's looking at hitting the blue just on the left of nose, as we just and no more on the left of nose.
Exactly what you called, David. I'm not just too sure whether that has actually helped him. Perhaps a big enough gap. Perhaps a big enough gap there for Kyle Smith to come through and take the two blues out.
Potentially. So Tom may just want to bung this up, Glenn Muirhead up to have a look at it. It's just straight down here.
So the decision's been made, what they're going to do here. Tom Brewster holding the brush there for Glenn Muirhead. I think
Just answered my next question, Kenny. I was going to ask you what have they decided.
I think he's probably going for the double takeout.
Yeah, he's coming in off the wing. Yeah, I think that's pretty nice.
That's what they did indicate. I think he's maybe just rolled maybe a quarter stone too much.
Yeah, potentially. See if we can get another look at it. If somebody would kindly go and ask Craig Strahan and Scott Hamilton to move a little bit. Presumably they will move in a second, as Cameron Bryce's team sweep one into the house in front of us. Yeah, there you go. You see there's a long line of stones there.
I know there's no great angle really.
How are you on reverse kicks?
And you possibly could nip the two blues out of here. I think that's what he's playing.
I would agree there, Kenny.
I think that stone was meant to try and just check onto the yellow, but it's just rolled probably half a stone too much.
Yep, I think you're right.
Kyle Smith going for the double takeout here at the fifth end.
That was travelling.
Yes, was hanging around, but it's the end result, and he now lies 2 shots.
I think Tom might have to use the front yellow to get rid of both the yellows in the house. I think if he hits the blue directly, it could well jam.
That could be quite a handy stone at the back of the 8 foot there, or in the 12 foot at the back there, for Tom Brewster.
This shot could actually bring the blank back into the equation as well.
Pardon?
This shot could bring the blank into the equation as well.
I think is it not impossible to get rid of the 2 yellows?
No, I think if he plays off the top one, you're going to get a slight pull on the middle yellow as we look at it there. I might be wrong, but
We'll find out just shortly anyway.
Very
because
basic understanding of curling, but I think it may just pull that yellow to the right as we look at it, because he's hitting across the blue stone. Again, this won't be a slow one. We'll be looking half stone yellow. And there we go.
well, there's still a line shot at the far side.
Yep,
Yellow.
there is a yellow hung in there. I think that was the front one, Kenny, that hung about. We'll line up the replay. You see the contact, the bottom 2 disappear, and there's the first yellow hit just rolling into the top of the 12 foot.
That would be the yellow that Tom actually made the initial hit on.
Exactly. Great effort though.
Brewster still with the hammer.
Yeah, and you called it, John. This one has to be absolutely spot on, otherwise that one in the back of the 12 foot comes right back into play.
Is that back blue in, David? Or is it?
I don't think so, no, it's the one in the 12 foot, I mean. I don't think the back blue's in. No, I think it looks clearly out on that shot. Wouldn't be the first time we've called that wrongly though.
Kyle Smith drawn behind the blue guard.
It's running out of steam. Oh, well swept. Really well swept.
So Tom Brewster just passing his third player, Glenn Muirhead, for the middle of the 8 foot, and we'll see the draw to the 4 foot circle.
They really needed to get that just touching that 8 foot in order to kill that back blue.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, exactly. A foot shorter, and it's an entirely different end. So again, well done to the front end of that team, just bringing that in. Kyle Waddle and Cammy Smith, I think.
Yes. So Tom Brewster being forced at the 5th end to draw for a 1.
They're working this one, but it looks absolutely fine.
Yes, it's.
I think working it just to hit the button rather than get the shot. And there we go.
There we are. Good draw there by Tom Brewster into the 4 foot circle, and he takes a 3-1 lead into the 6th end.
We've got some fans out there. So I'll put on screen the scores as we have them. We'll update them in a second, and just a quick reminder as I obliterate the entire audience there, that Lely are sponsoring this event. And if you're interested in anything, if you Google Lely Longtown, you'll get to their direct site, or lely.com. Will provide you with a whole load of information about what Lely do, and it's absolutely incredible the technology they have. So keen to have them on board.
Yes.
Really pleased that they've supported this event. I believe they're coming in to present the prizes, and as part of the deal, we've got a corporate event as well, so another opportunity for the bar. So as I say, on sheet C there, that's a final score. And so Lauren Gray through to the semi-finals tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, I think, there.
That's right, David. An early start tomorrow morning for the teams. It's so that we're finished by mid-afternoon, so that most of them can get up to airports to the continental teams can fly back home tomorrow night. I think you're involved in that, John, are you? Taxiing tomorrow?
I'll be taking somebody to Edinburgh Airport tomorrow afternoon, and also another group at 6 o'clock on Monday morning.
Probably the biggest change in name scores, Grant Hardy in the bottom game there, been held 3-all. A couple of singles taken in that, one after another. And Hannah Fleming just starting a wee comeback there, so maybe just keep an eye on that one. It's certainly not over yet. And back to our main game. Tom Brewster favourite here, Kenny?
I think this is a big end, the sixth end. You normally in club games you look to take the sixth end, and it also gives you the opportunity in an end game to lose the seventh and take an eighth. You've got last stone hopefully twice.
Gives a couple of options in the seventh as to how you want to play it, as opposed to being forced to play it.
Tom's in the driving seat at the moment, but it just needs one wee mistake, and these teams are not long in getting in and put you under a lot of pressure. Kyle Smith asking his second player, Kyle Waddle, just for a draw in, freezing on top of the two blues.
Played reasonably well, but I think that can be picked.
I don't think Tom will be too worried if he even does have to take one of his, lose one of his own blue stones here.
Yeah, though they're sitting quite nice to stop the Smith rink going in behind the corner guard at the moment. But no, you're right. He won't worry if they disappear. Clears everything out.
We update on rink B, David. I can see that out the window here. Scott Hamilton has stole one at the fifth end. Now to tie that his game up. 3 shots all against Cameron Bryce.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear how that one pans out. Scott's been playing very well this weekend. Graham Black in at 3 for him. Craig Strawhorn at 2 and David McMeekin at 1, all been playing well. And a few good results. Had a wee bit of a scare last night, I suppose you would say. They lost a game they probably would like to have won, which would have made them through top of the group. But no, I think they're quite happy with the way they've played. Graham was certainly very complimentary about the ice just before we came on. So
You played this weekend, David. What's the ice been like?
well, we got beat, so I'm going to say terrible. But if we move on from that, no, it's been excellent. It's been really good. Good consistent swing. I think I was going to use the word consistent a lot here because it was good consistent swing. It was a pretty consistent speed, and it stayed the same right the way through the game. It certainly hasn't gone flat in our experience. I don't know if other teams have found that or not. So just see a wee error there. He hangs the guard and clears his own shot out the house.
I thought that was a big error, but that's maybe just an opinion.
I'm just being careful, John.
And Scott Henderson wasn't standing behind David here, twisting his arm there. I think I've heard nothing else but compliments about the ice this weekend. It's good to see.
It's been really interesting. Obviously, Scott's been using the kind of umpires' room that we've been doing the score updates in, so I had a good chance to have a chat with him a few times. And yeah, it is interesting just to hear what he's got to say about the building and maybe future little tweaks we can do. But it's nice. Obviously, he only came in, I think, Wednesday afternoon, so he's had Wednesday night and Thursday to really get the ice the way he would like it. So it's not been a complete overhaul. It's just been little tweaks here and there. But certainly his expertise has been, I would say, of an exceptional value to this competition.
Yes, I think he the games came off at 10:30 on Wednesday night, and he flooded the ice completely.
He did indeed. Yep, he did.
And he started cutting it back on Thursday afternoon.
Of course, I mean, good ice is exactly what this competition absolutely needs. There's no point in having all the top teams here if the ice doesn't stand up to them. And these guys, brush issues aside, these guys will give the ice an absolute hammering because they're just good sweepers. But it's so far it's stood up to them.
And the outside weather hasn't just been helping too much either with the humidity and the dampness.
I think, came in this morning at over 80% humidity as the dampness creeps through the walls. Recently did a bit of the Curling Association, I think, did a bit of painting. Is that right?
Yes.
Along with some volunteers and that. There's been quite a few. Graham Sloan himself has done a lot of painting, just to provide a small barrier between the inside and outside. And I'm told that even although we've not got right to the top of the walls, that it clearly has made a difference. So we'll get the rest finished, and it's a starter for 10. It's just ticking off each wee thing and seeing that how we can provide good ice not only for big competitions like this, but for just general curling games.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say if we'd had the weather conditions outside on a kind of normal day without the expertise that Scott's brought, we could have had exceptionally different ice.
No, I think Scott's did a good job over the weekend.
Well, when you've got so many players actually putting their shots through the house, clearly the ice is keen. We've had very few pickups, I think, and certainly there's not many stones away at the front because of, say, a lack of sweeping or that. So
I think the pleasing thing, John, is it hasn't went flat after 6 ends.
Yes, that's right. And
it's kept the same speed for the
And
whole 8 end.
That was the worry when we saw how much it was swinging. The natural worry is that it's going to go flat, but it absolutely hasn't. I think we had one pickup through the 3 games, but we knew exactly where it came from, and it was brought onto the ice by our skip. We'll blame his hairy brush. But no, it's been excellent. We've still got a day to go though, so hopefully tomorrow's ice is just exactly the same. and the building doesn't provide too many challenges overnight.
So Smith electing for to draw through the port there and just come in behind that guard.
He's trying to get as much gap between his own two yellows, John, as he can. Try and lie 2 shots and.
Yeah, he knows if he gets buried here, there's a fair chance the open one will be hit. And it looks pretty buried. Got to be second shot though.
Yes, well swept.
Yeah, he's just going to hit the open one. I think it is technically on to hit the blue, but exceptionally risky when you don't have last stone.
I think it might be. The main objection here is just to hit the yellow and get a wee roll possibly behind his own blue.
Yep, I think that's exactly what he's looking to do.
But he's also got to watch it, doesn't he? Put the yellow to the blue that's just hanging on at the edge of the 12 foot there, just about T-line.
Yeah, I think if he does that, he'll be rolling out the house as well, so especially careful of that, because I don't imagine this one's going to be slowed down the ice.
No, he's not getting a lot of ice anyway. Glenn Muirhead holding the brush there.
Must be close, they're yeah and knowing. There it goes. How far is it going to go? Great shot.
Good shot, Tom Muirhead.
There could be a hole through there, mind.
No, I think we're
Just going for the double.
going for the double
I think
takeout.
because it's guarded on the 4 foot. They'll still be looking to engineer their 2 here, so they can run it. Run it to the left-hand side as we look at the back one. And try and get the shooter as far away as possible. Again, the camera angles probably don't help here, whether that's actually on or not.
Straight part, he might lie 2, David.
Lie 2, but probably an easy-ish double.
Yeah,
everything's relative,
right.
but I think lifting both the blues, your shooter's going to head towards the blue on the right-hand side of the screen as well. I'm interested to see just exactly where the shooter does go here. He just takes the one. So Brewster going to split the rings here.
Would you not throw the guard here, David? Force him to take one, because if you throw the guard, it's always going to be a blue stone he's bringing into the house.
Yeah, if he splits the house, he's forcing the one anyway, Kenny, just to draw at the 4 foot. I see what you mean, but I think whatever he does, the shot's the same. It's a draw at the 4 foot.
I suppose if he doesn't get the guard perfect, he could lose 2.
Exactly. So bring a second one into the house. You leave him the same shot. You force him into a 1. You've got the hammer in the 7th.
I see stones coming back up in the other ladies' game, so I take it that's all over now as well. But not too sure of the result. Well, I think we're sure of the result, but I don't know just what has happened there in the 6th end. The stones are definitely getting brought back up to the lounge end of the ice rink.
Did you get a score update, John?
No, really, but Fleming was 5 down going into the 7th, so.
We'll show it as a final score and we'll get confirmation what it actually was. I believe Milliardis, that's through to the semi-final lineup. So that's the semi-finals complete. Actually, again, we're not quite sure who plays each other because it is based on seedings. So we'll wait for the umpire just to confirm that one before we get into trouble again. Announce a game that doesn't exist.
Yes. I think it maybe does alter slightly what we had earlier on, David, with Hannah Fleming getting beaten.
I think it probably does. Yeah, Hannah was the seed in theory on that one. She finishing higher up due to a better draw shot challenge, if I remember.
I think Hannah was seeded at 3, so it will alter the seeding slightly.
Yep.
Well played.
A good last stone there for Kyle Smith. Double take out. Two shots to Kyle Smith at the sixth end, and he ties his game at 3 shots all. I think we'll have a wee replay of this, David.
We can. It's coming.
It's coming. Here it goes.
Perfect.
A good shot there from Kyle Smith. He picks up his 2, and we're all square after 6.
Give somebody, what is it, one
Briefly breaking away from our feature game. I think we're down to the last few stones here in the Grant Hardy match. They're tied at 3 all after 7 ends.
Do you know who's which colours there, Kenny? I think Grant's playing the red stones, is he? That's what he was down to be playing anyway.
Well, he's peeling off a blue guard. Yes. And he's lying a red at the back here in the back of the 12 foot, so...
You may have already said it, but Grant's got a hammer here, hasn't he?
Yes, Grant has the hammer.
So heavy favourites to win this, but we'll stay with that.
By the look of things here, David, I think it must be a stone each to come.
Yep, I would say so. I'm pretty sure that was Grant that played that peel, wasn't it? So I think if people listening to this will be thinking, why don't you just look out the window? But we're actually boxed into a corner here, so literally the only view I've got is of I don't know, about a third of the ice rink ceiling. That's all I can see out the window, Kenny. I think you can see, you've got the luxury of a couple of scoreboards, haven't you?
I can see A, B and C just, but unfortunately I can't see a lot of action in B. C's finished.
And A, we're watching anyway.
A, we're on screen with this. But as I said, it's very early stages yet in the 7th end. And I would expect Tom Brewster maybe looking for a blank end here to keep the hammer up the 8th.
Yeah, there's quite a few stones in play already though, so I think there's 3 stones up there in the free guard zone. Not quite sure what. Still looking attacking. His corner guard is exceptionally cornered.
So, I think this is the last blue stone coming down on rink F.
Not a lot of ice. They're just looking to hit this. We played this team earlier on today, and they certainly weren't shy of a hit or two.
No, I was watching the.
It was wide.
So I think Grant Hardy will have the 12 foot to draw the shot anywhere in the circles to win the match.
So would you say this is a 99 or 100 out of 100 shot?
I think at the moment Grant will just be happy to have it anywhere in the 12 foot.
Yep, absolutely. I'd back Grant to make this every time. Certainly did in a Wednesday night league game last week. So.
I think you might be
So
correct
did
to say it's actually his father that drew the button with his last stone.
Oh, they were both doing it. They were both doing it.
We'll not ask you how you got on in that game, David.
No, do I sound too bitter?
No.
Not at all. That was before the ice was good. It was a leveler.
The sweepers are not working this too hard, and Grant's subscript Blair Fraser doesn't look too worried.
He looks distinctly unworried.
And there's the handshake, and just before he break away, I think you'll find that if they swept that another couple of inches, it would have covered the pot lid. So, Good win there for Grant Hardy and his team, and they move into the semi-finals.
First men's team through to the semi-finals, Kenny.
Yes.
And can we remember who they play?
I think they get the winner of Cameron Bryce and Scott Hamilton.
I think they do, because Grant Hardy came out of Kyle Smith's section, which is this one, of course. So it's definitely not this game.
I'm almost certain.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right, Kenny.
So, back to our featured match here, and a draw coming in there from Tom Brewster's rink. It lies 2 blues at the moment. So. I think Grant quite likes playing here at Dumfries. David, he won the Invitational tournament back in November, beating Bruce Mount in the final.
He did, yep, the Scottish Curling Tour.
So, I think he's also won this season at Braehead.
He's doing well in the Scottish Curling Tour, and not a bad weekend at the mixed doubles, I don't think, last weekend.
Yes, I got beaten in the final by Bruce Mount again.
Bruce Mount and Gene Aiken.
Gene Aiken, yes.
Who of course played here in Dumfries at the World Championships, just to bring that back to Dumfries.
So, we debate going on here between Tom Brewster and Glenn Muirhead.
Do we go for the guards or do we go for the 4 foot? Just get Graham to do it. Yeah.
That camera there would cover it if we've got that right angle. Just thinking, something different.
Yeah.
I'd rather it's up here, do it down in the bit, get the whole floor of the ring.
Just discussing adding extra complications to tomorrow's coverage.
So
We'll keep it a surprise though.
give Mr. Sloan something to do tomorrow.
He's not got anything else to do, is he?
Well, hopefully you're getting the online scoring this evening. He was meant to be in charge of that, but...
Well, do you know, Kenny, I can check that from here. So should we just check that right now? He's an end behind, basically, isn't he? He's not too far. But Grant hasn't won yet. That's pretty up to date for Graham, to be fair.
That's not too bad. So, a draw around there by Tom Brewster's rink, but maybe just not quite completely hidden. And Kyle Smith just asking Thomas Muirhead to follow it round. A wee update on rink B. Scott Hamilton has stole another shot at the sixth end, and he now leads Cameron Bryce by 4 shots to 3. So a mistake there from the Smith rink. So Tom Brewster asking his third player, Glenn Muirhead, just for a wee hit and roll here and lie 3 shots. Oh, just rolled too far, David, out in the open.
Yeah, he just took a kick up off that stone on the tee line. The stone that's now on the tee line. Can't quite see if he's left the inside of it. I suspect he might have done, but well, having said that, Kyle Smith doesn't look overly... he might have just got away with that.
I think he might try the angle double here.
Slash. Angle double sounds a bit more technical, to be fair, doesn't it?
So Kyle Smith asking Thomas Muirhead to try and get a double takeout.
This is close, looking for it just to swing a fraction, just to flop on top of the blue.
Yeah. Not a bad result there.
Yeah, it's a good shot. I dread to think what that was about, Kenny. John Graham's just been called away with the comments of "this doesn't look good." I think we'll stay put.
I was going to say it was the comedian that was there, but it actually was Graham Sloan.
Comedian, magician, yeah. I should point out he has been given the option of a right of reply. He just turns it down now, so on his own head.
Just trying to split the blues here, David, is he?
I didn't actually see the calls.
I think it was a split on the blue sitting in the front of the 12 foot.
The front of the rings, yeah.
Just to let him be able to see a wee bit more of maybe the yellow to make a play on it. Because the way it's lying at the moment, the yellow will go, hitting that side will go straight to the blue. This looks as if it might just be good.
Oh, doesn't like that one. And that was out the rings, boys.
Tom tripping over a stone there at the back of the house. Can't see this end being blank now then, David. There's too many stones in play.
No, almost no chance. I'll not say no chance, just in case, but pretty much no chance. So yeah, we're down to skip stones, 7th end. The Dumfries CCT event, sponsored by Lely.
Yes, the sponsorship's very much appreciated. Can't have competitions of this quality without sponsors.
No, so adds to the prize fund. Attract the big teams, and then hopefully build on that year on year.
Yes, I think this year the ladies' side of the draw has doubled in numbers.
It has, yeah. We have 15 or 14 with space for 15. We had 14 ladies teams, which I think it was 8 last year, and possibly 2 of them were kind of local rinks put together. So really pleased with that.
And quite a few teams from foreign parts.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've had Sweden, Switzerland, Latvia, Germany,
Canada.
And Canada. There we go. I knew I'd miss one. It's really good to have them all with us.
Yes.
Social side as well. I think it is one of the few CCT events, I might be wrong in this, that has a men's and a ladies competition at the same time. I think it gives a wee bit of a social edge. Obviously we're the week before Christmas as well.
I think that's the reason why we picked the week before Christmas, so that we would get most of the top Scottish rinks at least would be at home this part of the season.
Yep.
And which is a very busy curling calendar at the moment, so you've got to pick whatever week you think you could get the most of our teams from our own country. Yeah,
exactly. It's, unfortunate clashes, really unfortunate the clashes with Lockerbie, the under 21, the RCC Ron Asham event. But as you say, it's a busy calendar. Not much we can really do about it.
There's not many competitions now, and so few weeks to play them in.
It is, and the 2 competitions aren't really. There might be a couple of crossover teams, but they're not really.
I think the one teammate possibly would have been at Lockerbie would be Cameron Bryce.
Yeah. And probably the one team that would have been here would be Ross White's local team as well. So maybe 1 or 2 teams crossed over, but nothing too serious. I don't think Tom Brewster's eligible for the under 21s anyway.
For a few years now. I think Bruce Mowatt's team might be crossover for under 21s. I think he qualified last week at the Scottish Junior Finals.
I lose track, to be honest, Kenny. It's
as you said, David. Most of these teams now are playing in the men's part of the tour, so they're wanting to be laying the bigger competitions. No disrespect to Lockerbie, but Tesla doesn't want 21 slam.
Yeah, and Lockerbie's under 21 competition is obviously a big competition in its own right. It's just a shame we can't have different weekends, really. People have to travel from one ice rink to another. In an ideal world, it would be a different weekend.
I think there's actually some of the competitors that were playing at Lockerbie in here tonight.
There is, yep, there is. And it's good that both ice rinks should be supporting each other. We're not that far away from each other, and it'd be nice to think it could kind of work mutually beneficial. New stones at Lockerbie actually next week. Family Bonspiel, I believe they get put on the ice for the first time, so that'll be good.
The launch of the new stones, is it?
Launch of the new stones. What do we give it, a week before there's too much curl? A day?
So, losing track of what's going on here in our featured match. As Tom Brewster guarded up a line 1. Can he come round? Must be. But he hit that back as well, which David and I just discussing here what Kyle Smith's got on. It's not too easy when we kind of really see how the stones are lying, but Kyle Wood will now join them for the discussion.
It's not really that much more helpful, that shot, is it? Just while we're waiting for that decision, quick look next door, and we'll see a guddle. I think is the only way to describe that. I might just stay with that because that could be quite. You see the two members of the Kyle Smith team standing in the head, so we won't miss anything across there. Expect to see some granite flying about here.
It's no Cameron Bryce to play anyway, so we must still be quite early in the end.
Yeah, it is. Cameron Bryce with the red stones here, so he is actually sitting, but of course he has last stone.
Oh. Good shot there from.
That puts Cameron in the driving seat, I would say.
I think it was Zach Stewart that played that stone.
It was. That looks like his game is finished, so that must just be skip stones to Calm Graham Black. Yeah, Graham Black's not in the head actually, so there must be another vice stone to come yet.
I think we need to go back to our.
Oh no, there's Graham. He's learnt to count to 2. I wasn't going to mention it until they won, but Graham was in the office just before we started wondering what the prize money was for a losing quarter finalist. So I told him, I said, "Will we get paid tonight?" I said, "Yes, not a problem." And then we informed him that if he won the game, that he wouldn't get paid until tomorrow morning. And he reliably informs us that cash flow dictates the prize money is required for the kitty tonight. So I'm sure it was said tongue in cheek.
I think it might be quite a good idea to give them their cheque tonight, David, because if they happen to lose out and go out this evening, they might spend most of it behind the bar.
I think you might be right. So you've just seen the Kyle Smith team put a guard on there. Tom Brewster just walking up to it.
Do we actually know who shot here? Oh.
Well, I'm going to guess they decided not to play that.
Tom Brewster didn't play his last stone at the
So I'm going to guess that was
seventh
a
end.
one to Blue. I'm guessing that's a 1 to Brewster. I wonder if we can just send John just to keep an eye on the scoreboard on it, just to see who did score that one. I'm going to call him. There you go. We've updated the scoreboard. Let's wait and see what the score actually is.
Well, that sheet doesn't seem to have changed. Scott Hamilton has played a stone since then, and then 3 reds are still lying there.
Yeah, well, maybe just watch the end of that game, Kenny. And we'll go to split screen once Brewster and Smith start their next end, but they're both in team conferences at the moment.
That is actually one of the scoreboards I can see.
Oh, we didn't need to send John. Whoops.
But I don't think we're going to get much of an update because I don't think the score has went up yet.
Just wait and see who plays the first stone then.
It must be 1 to Tom Brewster because it's Hamilton McMillan playing the first stone. So you were correct with your judgment there. 1 shot to Tom Brewster in the 8th end. So possibility of us going into extra time here, David.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just try and make this make a bit more sense. Putting the right game on, and then we'll go back to the split screen. We won't. Not doing this very well, are we? There we go. I think that was about the 8th time lucky. John comes in and confirms the one.
So
yeah, Scott looking in quite a bit of trouble here.
Graham kind of indicating a blue that's sitting away out the front, raising it onto the. Couldn't
Can
come
he
through.
not come down off the centre line through a gap?
That's just what I was thinking, David. I thought that would be the.
5 and 1, 6 and 2.
So Scott Hamilton trying to.
Yeah, I think there's a gap there, John. Kenny, sorry, I think there's a gap.
Who's got the hammer here?
Cameron Bryce has a hammer. I'm talking down through there. I think it would have the added bonus that you could actually play just to hit maybe 3/4 of that front red, bump the back red out of play and sit shot.
In behind a pile of guards.
And behind a pile of guards. But they're ignoring us.
As you say, sometimes the camera, we don't have the right angle here. Just to say the gap might not be quite wide enough.
Sweepers are on it. You can
early on.
probably hear that. Graham shouting no. Scott shouting yes, it must be close. Here it comes. No.
I don't know whether you heard that, the big O in the background here upstairs at Dumfries. Very close shot there by Scott Hamilton.
Got another stone to come, or?
Well, he must have, because it would have been a handshake. Because
I'm assuming Cameron wouldn't necessarily play the stone, so apologies. There must be another one. I think that makes it even more. I suppose Scott wouldn't want to take the centre guards off, to be fair then. That's maybe what he's worried about. Play that and you're lying in behind covered.
so, top half of the screen, our featured match this evening. Tom Brewster line shot in behind a centre guard, but a yellow locked onto it.
Yeah, a lot of time for that one to change.
Yes.
Kyle Smith maybe just about favourites for that game now. One down with, or one up without, what's your preference?
Oh, it's always nice to have the hammer down the last. And
There we go, that was the last stone.
we just played 7 ends in that game. Is that the possibility?
Yep, it's kind of looking like it, isn't it?
Yes, we thought it was the last end in that game. But a big change in the score there. Cameron Bryce picking up a 3 or a 4, was it? I think it was a 4.
Check in. Certainly a 3. Certainly a 3. We'll keep an eye on that one. And back to our main game.
It was a 4. It was a 4, David.
It was a 4.
And it actually was the 7th end. He leads now. Cameron Bryce leads by 7 shots to 4.
So you would think Cameron Bryce well in control of that game to go through and play Grant Hardy.
That's correct. 6. Seven. And we're off. There's a handshake. I don't know what happened with 8.
So I have another result for you. Bruce Mowat has beat the Dutch rank of Van Dorp. I think somewhere in the region of 9-5.
Yes, I.
How did it score up? Let's face it, we're in a knockout competition. They're off the ice.
I don't think they played the 8th end, David. I think that's a possibility.
Yeah, Bruce Mowat through, and he will play the winner of this game.
So I think that sets up the last 4's all Scottish teams.
Yeah, it will do. It will do, Kenny. Yeah.
Gives us a choice to make in the morning. What game we're going to show?
And it looks like all the group winners are going through as well.
Right.
But right in saying that, yeah, Mowat finished top of his group, as did Cameron Bryce, as did Brewster, as did Grant Hardy. So yeah.
Yes, so the only one at the moment is Tom Brewster.
Yes.
Still to get through, but he leads 4-3, playing the 8th end.
And the guard sticks. I think for me this is where the tactics go to a whole different level. Just the placement to within millimetres of where they're looking for them. They know the roles, they know the kicks they're going to get. It's the thought that goes through the minds of these guys, just exactly where they want to place their stones. Don't think you see too many club curlers stick another guard up here, Kenny.
No, I think
straight in behind.
I think he might actually be quite happy here to just touch the blue up and take the angle off.
Yeah, I think he's looking. He's certainly looking to be right up to this.
He's looking to be right in behind so that he can't do the run back on the yellow. I think he's very close to.
Might have liked a fraction more angle than that. Just discussing which game we're going to show tomorrow morning. We'll make a decision before we wind up tonight. Essentially, we'll be covering all 4 semi-finals, though. We'll pick one game, but we'll move between them all. Yeah, we're pretty happy with that. I mean, that yellow's going nowhere but the button, so.
Thank you.
Yeah, Tom Brewster's running out of stones here a little bit.
I think you'll see Tom running the blue onto the yellow and run it through the back of the house, David, eh?
Possibly the only thing is he's wanting to keep all these stones in play. I think he has to move that yellow. We'll see if he agrees with me in a moment. That yellow is just going to cause him problems. I mean, realistically, he's going to have to be on the button covered to chance to win this. But remember, he can also force a 1 here. And I think the way we're set up, an extra's looking reasonably likely.
Yes, if you're a betting man at the moment, I think you would put money on an extra end, just the last thing we want, which has been quite a long day here. The freeze play got underway this morning at 8:30, is that right, David?
Yeah, 8:30. I think we're in at about 7:30 this morning, just tidying up last night's draws and putting all the LSDs in, and it's been a long day. And it's only once a year though, isn't it?
Semi-finals start tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
On the plus side, Kenny, I believe we're on overtime now, so slipped him to overtime at 10:30. So we're on double
time. You told Graham that.
Yep, yeah, and he agreed, to be fair. The problem is we all know what double or nothing is.
The same, 0. We tidy up there by Tom Brewster's rink. Remove 2 yellows from play. Still lie shot in the 12 foot. Kyle Smith asking his third player, Thomas Muirhead, to draw around behind the corner guard.
Just checking progress of the online scores, Kenny, and I think somebody's slipping up on their job.
He'll be multitasking at the moment.
Trying to get him behind the corner there. It's good effort, but it is hanging out. Again, this ice is reasonably swingy, so shouldn't be too much of a problem just to pick that out.
He could actually lie shot in behind his own blue here. But I don't think that'll be just his main objective. The main objective at the moment will be to get the yellow out of the house.
Yep, get that yellow out of the house and get the next one out of the house, and you've got at least an extra end.
Great stone there by Tom Brewster. Just could have done to maybe roll another half stone.
So last 2 stones of the 8th end. I think we've got another result just before this stone comes down. I think Cameron Bryce's team are through, has beat Scott Hamilton. So that'll be Graham Black delighted.
But we'll confirm that once we get the...
Yeah, we'll confirm that at the end of this end.
What happened in the 8th end.
Graham gets his payout tonight. I've just had a text stating it was something to do with the milk prices cash flow, but I wasn't even going to go there.
No.
Tempted to now, but I won't. But it was very well pointed out by text.
Tom Brewster, I think this may be... Good stone there by Kyle Smith. Good brushing by the front end of the Smith rink. I've made up my mind what's going to happen here, David.
I think we all know where we're going with this one. We might not like it, but it's happening.
Mind you, no, it's too tight to get even. It's too tight by the guard, I think, not the guard, but the stone sitting at the front of the 12 to get half check behind it.
I think whatever happens here, that as long as the shooter doesn't roll away, Kyle Smith's going to be playing down the right hand side as we look at it, a draw to the 4 foot to take the game down an extra end.
That was maybe just slightly on the wide side, was it not? It just got by that front guard.
A good example for those that have not seen it before of the kind of, we call it a new technique now, of just sweeping the stone that actually needs to swing.
So
it's quite strange to watch when if you've not seen it before. Stone that really needs to swing has been swept just by one sweeper.
So Thomas Muirhill holding the brush here for his skip Kyle Smith.
8 foot to hit.
I think he's going to take on maybe not full strike weight, but
Surprised by that, Kenny? Maybe just wondered about the ice down that right.
Maybe just
side.
coming down slightly on the outside. Maybe not a lot of play up there.
Yeah, maybe just likes the ice down here. Obviously doesn't want to roll away though. And they are working it. Looks fine though.
Yeah. Yes. Good
Spot
shot.
on.
Good shot by Kyle Smith, and he ties it at 4-all, and we're into an extra end. As David said earlier, I think we only have one extra end, but we'll just confirm the rules on that one.
It is one extra end, Kenny.
So if the extra end's blank, am I correct in saying that Tom Brewster goes through to the semi-finals?
If the extra end is blanked, Kyle Smith goes through to the semi-finals because Tom Brewster has the hammer.
Correct.
I'm being asked if I'm certain about that. I'm reasonably sure of that. It is getting to that stage of the day where yes, we do need sleep. So a ninth end of the Lely CCT event here in Dumfries, the men's quarter-finals. This game between Kyle Smith and Tom Brewster. Tom Brewster has got the hammer down this last end. Already through in the men's section we've got Cameron Bryce. He will be playing Grant Hardy in the morning. And Bruce Mowat is also through and will play the winner of this game. In the ladies section, Milliard and Lauren Gray are the winners tonight, so they progress through to the final. Still just to confirm exactly who they're playing tomorrow morning. We'll confirm that with the umpires, and that will all be online. If we can get a council computer to work, we'll also put it on Facebook, but so it'll certainly be on the DIBCA website at some stage tonight.
I think you were right, David. The one extra end, and the team without the hammer wins the match if it's blanked.
Yeah. So we're not getting a blank. We're not getting a 10th end. That's the main thing.
But David Hartley said the same.
Yep, no draw shots or anything like that.
No.
I wonder if they thought what happens if there's a dead heat measure, which is technically a blank. Shall I just not answer that?
We'll let our chief umpire Jim Hogg sort that one out, I think, David.
Basically, if that happens, we're taking cover, we're down the fire escape out of here. We'll leave them to argue about it.
Never thought of that one.
That's one for the rules committee next year. So a couple of stones in play already here.
And
attempted tick shot.
Jim's down the ice, so we can't really get the semi-finals or can we for the ladies off the air.
No, we'll sort it out properly.
I think it does alternate.
I don't think it does actually.
I'm not to say
it's third seed anyway.
no, Hannah.
But Hannah and the team who was playing would have been the lowest seed.
Fleming was fourth anyway.
So Lauren, we've got 1, 2 and 3 are fixed anyway, so
But wait a minute. Who come out the same section? No, Gray and Fleming come out the same section. So no, where did
So we're going for some guard clearances now. Oh, just misses both the guard and the stone in the house. He's left the shooter up there.
Tom doesn't look too happy with that stone.
I'll have a look in a minute. Just show the quick replay. There we go. Just shaves the guard. And by shaving the guard, just shaves the stone in the house.
So there you are.
I'll class that as a wee bit unlucky, Kenny.
Yes, we're even bringing the action replays now.
You're doing well to get them at 2 hours and 37 minutes into this webcast.
So
I can still see the button, which is a bonus.
23.
I'll keep you posted.
So okay. So Tom will be trying to remove some of these front guards again. Yellow could be. He'll be hoping he'll be crashing into the 2 yellows that are lying in the house. Sweepers are on it. It's not far away. Right. Moves everything about. David's changes the end slightly.
Yeah, it just opens it up a wee bit, certainly open the forefoot up a wee bit.
Only the one match now remaining on the ice here at the Ice Bowl in Dumfries. As we're just after 11 o'clock. No.
I think we need to do something about camera levels here, Kenny. It's either that or we've got a very serious problem with the ice.
I think Graham was involved. See, just anything goes wrong here, we just blame
Graham's fault, yeah.
Beat Graham Sloan. Blame Graham Stone. I think that's the overhead picture you're bringing us now, David, is that right?
Yeah, it is. We've got a camera strung up on wires. Think a bit like the camera at Twickenham. Only seriously lower tech. Now a couple of steel wires. It's Glen Muirhead, you see, powers out the hack. Can't see much from that angle until everybody gets out the way, which they've done now. Oh, it just misses them again. So this is starting to look a wee bit messy.
And he's actually possibly rolled across now to block one side for the 4 foot.
I think he has. Kyle Smith calling the guard. He would love one of them in the 4 foot, one of them shots. Time to do that yet. I think that means it's a wee bit wide.
I think the sweeper's good.
Yep, got it there nicely. A bit of discussion going on.
I think Tom's possibly got to think of driving his own blue foot back now.
I think he does. I mean, he'd love to get rid of both them yellows, wouldn't he?
But I suppose if he drives the blue back and doesn't he just quite get it right, he is opening up that side of the house.
Glen Muirhead comes up. You can see in the bar area a couple of teams coming off. Still a good crowd have gravitated towards the far end of the lounge. Of course, that's to watch the game, nothing to do with the fact the bar's over there. It's just jealous, isn't it?
Another shot here, David, could be to try and drive the two blues on the other side to open up. And then he's got both sides open for the
it could be, see the state of the stones up the front of the house there. And then back into the house.
I think
we've made our mind up.
Yes, I think it's guards again. It's twice this end, he's just shaved past Yellowstones.
This is travelling, this must be close. Oh, he's through the hole. And it's one. Oh, and he doesn't quite hit second shot, but Tell you what this does do now though is gives Kyle Smith a chance to get right into the 4-foot. His own shot in the 8-foot might come into play now as something to come off.
So the extra end here, we're now down to skip stones. Kyle Smith debating with his third player, Thomas Muirhead, what he's going to do.
Let's give you a replay of that last stone. You see it shaving through there. It's pretty unlucky not to lie shot there.
A fraction less of the stone and he was getting the double.
Well, a fraction either way and he may well have got both guards.
Yes. I suppose that was always the option. If he did get both guards,
absolutely.
It was...
Yeah, take both guards, rummel through it. Love that word. We've used that a few times this weekend, just rummel through there. A good club phrase.
As I said, usually aim for the hole in a club game, David, and you get the guards.
But for the guards, you get the hole.
So what's your call here for Kyle's first stone, David?
Again, I think first and foremost, that's the one I like. You just pointed it out. Hit and roll off the yellow, takes it out of Tom Brewster's hands. He likes just going there. I like taking that. Like taking that because I think Tom will use that if he's in trouble. First and foremost, you're trying to steal against the Brewster rink, who are, they're an exceptionally good rink. So you're going to have to be 4-foot.
Well, that yellow stone that's lying in the 8-foot's not going to win the game.
No, and if you come any further than just biting the 4-foot, you're leaving a double off the yellow. So I think these guys will know exactly what they're doing, and their call will more than likely be the right one. But I think I'd be looking at come off that yellow at this stage.
I think we did see Kyle indicating that's his shot he's going to play, David.
Yeah, I just think that's the. And there's another call. Take the blue and bounce the yellow in. That's not the worst call in the world, is it?
I think he's going back to his original call. 3/4 of the yellow stone and roll over onto the possible lie. Just a bit. You'll not want to lie where Tom can come through the hole again.
No, you almost want to overbury this one, don't you? You want to be on the right hand side of the centre line.
Behind the two blue guards.
And behind the two blues, exactly that, because I think that if you're just the right hand side, the two blues probably lock each other. I don't think they're any use as raises. If you're heading towards the 8-foot on the right hand side of the 4-foot, that takes a bit of thinking about it this time of night. Then the blue raise might be there. Here it comes. They're off it, they're trying to get it to swing. As it covered the inside edge.
Tom can probably just come up this hack weight.
Three stones left.
Glenn Muirhead holding the brush here for his skip, Tom Brewster. Tom's first stone at the extra end.
The matches are updated on the website, Kenny.
We now have games finished, do we?
Yeah, scores have been done.
We'll take it all back what we've said about you, Graham.
No, we won't. That's half an hour late. We were getting scores up on that website before they'd even taken the shot, Kenny, this afternoon. It's a good stone. Flops out slightly, I think, though, which maybe leaves them. I can see them going directly in here this time because that stone's a couple of stones further up the house, so unlikely they're getting to the 4 foot by hitting and rolling. Not a lot to be gained by either. Kyle Smith's last stone of the game. Got a live shot after this one. They are still looking at it. I wonder if they just play a down weight. Down weight and hit less of the stone to get a better angle.
Don't think he's down in his weight with the ice he's given. I think he must just be playing similar weight, and hopefully it just swings a wee bit more this time and rolls across the live shot on the edge of the 4 foot. Most important thing here, David, is he lies shot and makes Tom play his last stone.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all you can really do, isn't it?
And I think we're getting a change here. I think he's thinking about drawing now. Right.
Yeah, fairly decisive change as well.
Yes. I think you said it quite early after that stone, blue stone had came there, that he perhaps couldn't get in close enough to the 4 foot.
I wonder if he thinks he can throw the draw and actually finish pretty much on the tee line here, because there is a big swing and it is a very long guard.
That's a long guard.
I can only think he thinks he can get to the tee line. And the centre line.
I'd be quite surprised here if he doesn't just sit in front of the button.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Because he's going to have, because of that long guard sitting on the left hand side of the 4 foot isn't going to be particularly useful, because Tom's going to be able to play a hack weight at it. Again, these boys know exactly what they're doing. Thomas Muirhead's reaction there, pretty quiet. It's going back to well, it's shot.
Shot at the moment.
Well, leaves Tom Brewster an easy option. I don't think there'll be much thinking about this one. Just follow it down, he's got a bit of backing.
If it does hang slightly wide, he can take a wee touch in his own blue stone. So, last stone at the extra end. Tom Brewster needs to outscore the yellow stone lying at the back of the 8 foot to win the match.
Pretty good. Similar line.
Sweeper's just nursing it into the house.
It's got back in. It's a good way.
So there you are. Tom Brewster draws the shot and goes through to the semi-final tomorrow morning, where he'll play Bruce Mowat, and the other semi-final in the men's section, Grant Hardy plays Cameron Bryce. And as David said earlier, the draw for the ladies will be on the Dibka website fairly soon. I think just as soon
We'll
as the
say within 15 minutes or so.
with time the umpires get up from downstairs, just to confirm where everybody's going in the draw, proceedings, etc. So.
Yep, so that is us for tonight. Once again, just to credit Lely with the sponsorship. We'll be back at we'll be back at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's wishful thinking. So at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning for the semi-finals of the Lely CCT here at Dumfries.